No worries.
चलो cool.
Shall we start?
Yeah, so just a second. Yes. I feel we are good to go.
All right.
So welcome to this particular live mock PI. This is the first PI that we are having for this season, and we are really delighted to host Avantika Bais for this particular interview. Saurabh, please go ahead. Let's start with the interview directly.
All right. But before I do that, introduce myself. So I am
Sure.
Saurav. I did my MBA from NMIMS and now currently I'm working. And I have been associated with TAPMI for some years now, and then I'm good to be back to help out young students and everyone around us. All right, so let's get started immediately. Avantika, please introduce yourself.
So, hi, Saurav. Hi, Deep. I'm Avantika. I was born and brought up in Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, and I did my schooling from Shri Kailaswath Singhania High Secondary School till 10th, and then I shifted to DPS Bhilai. Since there was very limited educational, educational limits in my previous school, my parents wanted me to shift to a newer school and have a lot of different opportunities, and that's why I shifted to DPS Bhilai for my 11th and 12th. And thereafter, I did engineering in civil, which was from SRM, Chennai. And that's all. I like baking. That's my hobby.
Oh, what did you do after engineering?
I was working as a support member in QMath for 5 or 6 months. Like that was my initial job, and that was an internship. So it lasted 5 6 months, and then thereafter I joined Infosys as a system engineer, and I worked for 3 years in Infosys. And thereafter, I started my own baking business. But then, due to some shortcomings, I had to stop it.
That's quite a unusual switch from system engineer to bakery. Is
So,
there something that I missed?
I actually like baking since I was a kid. Like, my mom and I used to bake a lot when I was a kid. And then I left it when I was in college and all. I used to bake for my friends. And after I started my job, I used to do it as a hobby only, like as a passion for myself, so that I could just utilize the time which I had left in my hand. But then I realized that I was good at it and I thought I should give it a shot.
So you did your engineering in civil, but you started working as a system engineer, and
Yeah,
then you moved into bakery, and now you are without a job. Is your career going uphill as we are moving forward, or is it going downhill?
I think it is going uphill because
Why do you think so?
I've learned a lot from the previous experiences that I have had.
Like,
So I had no professional knowledge when I joined, like maybe QMath, I guess. And then I interacted with a lot of people because it was majorly a marketing job and I was in the support team. So I had to provide support to the marketing team and the sales team that we had. And that's why I interacted a lot with the marketing and sales team. That's where the whole team development thing came into the view. And then I shifted to Infosys, which was majorly an IT job, and it was more towards technical. And I gained a few things about I gained knowledge about the technicalities of the whole job. And again, I learned a bit of technical, not exactly technical, but then I learned teamwork in the technical side as well. So both the team management I have the knowledge of both kinds of team management is what I should say. And then since I had my own business, I had a team of my own there as well, and I was managing the whole thing. I have a knowledge about about training people as well because I was in Infosys and I had to train a lot of people while I was in Infosys. So
and why do you think you need an MBA?
because I think I might be lacking in the business part. because of which like I had to stop my business.
So
And I will learn a lot about the business aspect of like the whole thing from MBA.
what do you want to gain out of MBA and how will you use it?
Um, right now, like I am not very sure like how am I gonna use it, but then I am sure I will know more about the analysis part of the business and then a lot more about how to do a business and how to be not bad at it.
Do you think MBA is necessary to run a business?
I don't think MBA is necessary to run a business, but then in my case, since I am more of a technical, like I come from a technical background, I have a less knowledge about the whole business aspect of it.
I am
I have
still
friends who are doing business without the MBA thing, like they haven't completed MBA, but they're still running very good businesses.
I am still confused. I think you don't quite understand as to what MBA offers. Is that a true statement?
I do understand what MBA offers.
What do you offer?
So basically, it depends on which stream one is aligned towards. So if a finance person, like if somebody is aligned towards finances, it's more of like the financial thing, the risk management and all those things. But then when it comes to a basic business, like business management, it's more of the whole, like the whole idea of the business.
Let's take our example, right? As a B school, what do we create? Or what do we try and create in the 2 years that you're here?
Um, I think like it's more about creating people who are innovative and then who can take risks and who have knowledge about the business, like who have gained knowledge about the business while doing it.
This
I'm sure there are people who have learned it previously as well.
this word, knowing about business, is sort of turned into an enigma that I am not able to understand ki what do you exactly mean by that. Can you
Okay,
simplify
so
it?
yeah, like so if I break a business into like few steps, it's more about planning, marketing, and like obtaining raw materials, which is the operations part, and then the whole selling part. So I think this is the whole circle of business, I guess.
So you have already some experience in marketing. If I give
Yeah.
you an operations book and a few slides or lectures, I think you'll be well set with all the business knowledge and probably you would not be required to invest 20-25 lakhs.
I don't think so. Books don't give the knowledge which human interaction gives, which the industrial experts will provide while doing MBA. And like,
What great knowledge will they provide and not the books, right? Because the books have been written by people who know how to get their points across, right?
see, I know, like, so I'll explain it with an analogy. So if we read an RC, right? Cat has an RC. And if we read an RC, my perspective will be different and your perspective will be different, right? And that's why I think it comes into the view that a person's perspective might be different, but then we get to learn from other person's perspective.
I think we
It's the
have,
human touch that I guess is more important while doing an MBA.
if you want to listen to other people and learn, I think podcasts are the best way to do that. You don't need to spend 25-30 lakhs on it. But anyways, moving on. So tell me your few weaknesses. What are your weaknesses?
Few weaknesses, I must say. So I am a very hard worker, so that is one of my weaknesses and my like it's a good point about me as well. So like once I have an eye for something, I'm definitely sure I'll go and do it. Like
This is the first time that somebody has said ki I am a hard worker and that is my weakness. Let
that
me
sometimes comes as a weakness to me
Now, what
because
is your
if
weakness? See, I feel ki The answer that you gave me right now, and it tells me that you are not someone who has done a lot of self-reflection. You don't know yourself, right? Am I right? You don't know yourself well.
I do know myself.
You don't know yourself.
I do know myself is what I'm saying.
So tell me, what are your three strengths and weaknesses?
So I told you one, like my hardworking is my weakness and my strength as well. So my
So
family
that's
is
like
another
that's
strength.
like Kohli saying that batting is my strength and my weakness.
Oh, definitely it is. Because sometimes he doesn't do it really well.
That is different, right? See, strengths and weaknesses are completely different. Strength is something that you can rely on. Weakness is something that you want to improve on.
So actually, I am saying that my hard work is something I rely on, but then sometimes it pulls me back.
Just let that sometimes, whatever happens, I will let that pass. Now, moving on. Tell me other two weaknesses that you have.
So, like my family is my strength. That is another thing. And my weaknesses, I really don't like, no, I'm not sure about my weaknesses.
So you don't know yourself.
That is not what I'm saying.
No, but that is what it is, right? If you know somebody, if I ask Dave, he'll be able to.
I don't know how to manage time. It's one of my weaknesses
All right, you don't know how to manage your time. That is one
properly.
week. Proper.
Yeah. Like, so with me, what I do is like, I put a lot of things into place. I'll have a list, and but then at the end of the day, I won't be able to complete it. So I
Hmm.
try to be a overachiever.
Overachiever.
Yeah.
And you are not dependable from what I understand because you make a list of things to do and then you're not able to complete them. So not dependable, right?
Not exactly, not complete everything, but then maybe one or two things.
So you're not dependable. That's what I meant. Um, all right. Tell me, what do you think makes a great leader?
Someone who is reliable and somebody who has a very innovative mind, and then who is a team worker. Other 3 points I would say. If
All
someone
right.
cannot take the team and go ahead
Mhm.
altogether, I don't think it will work in the longer run.
All right. If I had to ask you to pick two, which two of these qualities do you think are non-negotiable out of these three?
Pick two. Um, One is the team worker part, and the second one is the reliable part.
The reliability. All right. So you don't think innovation is that of big of a skill set that a leader needs, right? We both agree on this.
I can ask someone else to innovate something for me.
So then innovation is probably not something that a leader may have. He may need a people under him who are innovative. That's what I meant.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Which of these skill sets do you have?
I am a good team worker. I'm definitely sure about that.
Mhm.
And I'm reliable too.
But the example that you gave me and the weakness that you mentioned, that tells me otherwise, that you're not reliable. If I gave you 10 things to do, or if I gave you five things to do, you'll do only three, and the two won't be complete. So are
It is
you
not about
reliable?
it's not about somebody asking me to do something. It's about my own list of thing items that I'm talking about here.
So you'll do what others tell you to, but not what you set out for yourself. So you're not ambitious from within.
I am ambitious.
But then the examples that you're giving are telling a different story. There's a disconnect between, I think, from what you understand of yourself and what you really are.
Might be.
All right. So which specialization are you interested in?
I'm interested in marketing basically
Marketing. Why marketing?
because I've already done it previously. like
What
as a job.
what excites you in marketing? What experiences you had and where do you want to grow?
So I would like to share an instance which I had while I started working in QMath. So I had just joined. It was not it was not even a week since I had joined, and this customer, she called me up and she started shouting at me like without thinking anything about, like, I didn't know what she was talking about, but then she started shouting at me. And I was very new to it. It was my very first job. I didn't know how to like handle the whole situation. And then I had to call my manager up, my team lead up, and tell them that this happened. And like it was a very devastating moment for me. But then I would not like to like say someone else to face the same situation as I was in back then.
All right. Dev, please continue.
All right. So, Avantika, I would want to know about your experience in marketing a bit more. So, you said that you had to face certain customers, like they were
Yeah,
they were not really happy with whatever service you provided or whatever,
services that was being provided
but
to them.
they were not happy with your services, right? So they
Yeah.
came to you. So I just want to understand that from the knowledge that I have, this is not a role of a marketing person. See, if there is
I
any,
was not working as a marketing person. I was working as a support team for the marketing. Like support, I was in the support team for the marketing team exactly.
no, see, that is what my point is. Working for a
Hmm.
marketing team and working in a marketing domain is a very different thing.
Okay,
Similarly, working for a IT company and working in IT domain is very different.
it's very different.
So that clarity has to be there. So now you have clarified that you were not exactly into marketing domain. On the
Yeah,
contrary, you were part of marketing team. So what exactly
yeah.
you were doing in marketing team? You were handling customer support.
Customer support.
So that is certain sort of a sales role, like after sales services that we provide, that comes under customer support, right? So,
Yeah,
so like now we are having discussion about that this comes under sales and this comes under marketing. I would want to
marketing.
understand from you that what is your understanding of the basic differentiation between sales and marketing? How do you
So
differentiate sales and marketing?
so basically, sales team is the one who has to like fetch customers,
Okay,
but but according to me, the marketing team is the one who has to like maintain the whole thing, whole charade.
but okay, understood. So if I create a value chain that you stated right now, you said that marketing team is a team that takes care of maintaining the customers that sales team has bought in, right?
Like and even pulls a few customers through the digital, like there are a lot of things in the marketing side as well,
Talk about
like
certain things in marketing. Talk about certain things in marketing.
so there's digital marketing,
Okay. What do you
which is
understand
based
from digital marketing?
so basically marketing through various social media platforms or through Google, through various like various platforms that we have.
Okay. And have you heard of SEO and SEM?
No, I have not.
Okay. You have not heard of search engine optimization?
No, no.
No, okay. Okay, no worries. See, you have discussed certain pointers and I have some question based on those pointers only. So you mentioned about that you had a bakery business and there were certain shortcomings in that
Yeah.
bakery business, right? So please tell me example of a very good case study that you are really fascinated about in the bakery industry only that is doing really great in nowadays or in present scenario. Tell me about a bakery chain that has grown exponentially and the case study you like.
Okay. So I love this brand Theobroma. I am sure you might have heard about it.
Right, right.
So it was, I think it was started by two sisters
Hmm,
who just started just like me. And
hmm,
like they wanted, because India didn't have a lot of good bakery products back then, they wanted
okay,
some to create something good, like
hmm,
something better than what was already there in the market.
hmm,
And they started with a small, I think a cloud kitchen, I guess, and now they have so many different, like they are established in so many different cities,
Hmm.
and they have, I guess, more than 100 chains all over India.
You mean 100 outlets?
100 outlet chain all over India. So
What
that
is the
is,
business model that Theobroma currently operates on? What are the different revenue drivers for Theobroma right now?
I'm not exactly sure about it, but I guess they're brownies and like they have a few
No,
products like
I said what are different revenue drivers? Like, do they work on franchisee based model, or what is the business
they
model
work
that?
on franchisee based model.
Hmm. So how does a franchisee based model works according to you?
So according to me, a franchisee based model works. Somebody buys a franchisee
Hmm.
who is currently residing in the city or maybe wants to reside in a city. Like I'm
Hmm.
from Bilaspur and I'm residing in Bilaspur. I want a franchisee here in
Hmm.
like of a Theobroma here in Bilaspur.
Hmm.
So what
Hmm.
I'll do, I'll go contact Theobroma owners or
Hmm.
the team,
Hmm.
and I'll get like a whole business model, how it works and how we are
Okay.
going to manage the whole
Hmm.
system. And then I'll have to contact them accordingly. And I guess that is how it works.
Okay, so this is something that you have discussed about setting up of the business. But once the business is in run and once you are generating certain revenue, how do you think the revenue would be split amongst all the stakeholders?
So basically, it is split among stakeholders according to what was price set up by the owners. If it was
Okay.
10%, like it
Hmm.
was 10% of the sales, they would get 10% of the sales, I guess.
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise, if it's more, they will get like
Hmm.
whatever is discussed between among themselves.
Hmm.
And I'm not sure about the raw material procurement, but most of the companies which have franchisees,
Hmm.
they give their own raw materials to the franchisees, and that's how it works.
All right. So let me give you a case problem. Just
Okay.
imagine that you are in between a tussle uh, of operating your own bakery in Bilaspur. And the
Yeah.
problem that you have found out is that you are not able to generate profitability, or should I say, your profitability is declining exponentially in past 6 months.
Okay.
Right. Now, as the owner of this business, it is your job to find the root cause. That what can be the root cause of declining profitability. So, how will you do that? What will be your approach? Because now you have experience in business, you know what are the core fundamentals of bakery business. You have also been into corporate and understood how a business runs in whatever avenues it was possible for you. So, using all of that knowledge, and now you want to enter a B school. So, B school stands for business, right? So how will you solve this business problem that you have faced yourself?
So basically, I will try to find out the root cause of it, in which area exactly it is lying,
It
whether
is in
it's the
Bilaspur. I already mentioned it is in Bilaspur.
no, no,
Exact
no, no.
area.
I'm not saying about the city. I'm saying like
Okay.
we have different parts of a business, as I explained. The
Okay.
operations
Okay,
part, the
that
raw
area.
materials part, and the everything, the supply chain, and
Hmm.
the whole
Hmm.
thing. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm saying. I will try to determine where
Hmm.
the where we are lacking exactly. If it
Hmm.
is the marketing part, or
Hmm.
it is the raw material part, if we are
Hmm.
getting the raw materials costly or not,
Hmm.
or like if we are lacking in providing the products, like if the products is not up to the mark, I will try
Hmm.
to find out the root cause, and I am sure like I will be able to find the root cause and work positively on it.
Hmm. All right. So okay, going ahead. So you also mentioned that you are really interested in marketing. So can you tell me about any brand campaign that you really liked, and what was the exact
Recently,
thing that you liked about that brand campaign?
so I've really liked Manevar's brand campaign, like various brand campaigns that they have.
Hmm.
It's majorly around Indian families,
Hmm.
and they bring a story to it.
Hmm.
It's not something very out of the world, but then
Hmm.
they have certain stories to it, and then
Hmm.
it attracts people towards them. And
Right.
that's what I feel is one of the good like
Hmm. Okay. So like I'll take that point. I understood that you like campaigns by Manyavar, but what is one unique thing that Manyavar does and Manyavar's competitor is not able to do through their marketing campaigns? Like take 4 to 5 competitors of Manyavar in today's market, and like what is your analysis on that? That Manyavar is doing this thing. This is very unique to Manyavar and not other competitors can.
Um, so the ads they create, right,
No,
Manevar,
first start from
they
what are 4 to 5 competitors of Manyavar?
so I am not into fashion business, so I am not sure about it
Is not
exactly.
it is not about fashion business. See, when you are a consumer, when you are fascinated by a brand, then you
Buy a brand.
because see, like if I am fascinated about cars and I really like the marketing that is done by BMW, for example, then I would obviously know that what the rivals are also doing. Like that is how the marketing ecosystem works. You are always in the tussle of like pulling the other brand down and moving a brand upwards, right?
Yeah,
Right.
but I don't
Okay.
see a lot of
Hmm.
brands who are doing like marketing around clothing,
All
like
right.
wedding clothing exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Have
I
you
know a
heard?
few brands there are like Jani, Sandeep, Khosla, these brands, they don't create marketing gimmicks. They have their own customer base and they don't even need the marketing stuff like
Hmm.
what other people do.
Have you heard of the brand Tasva?
Yeah, I have. It is
So
a Adit Birla brand
then why would you say that Manyavar don't have any direct competition and any brands who are
because
doing?
Manyavar, like
Hmm.
Manyavar has this Pata Mohe as well, which is for girls. That Tasva
Right.
doesn't.
Because Tasva is a fairly new brand.
Mm, Yeah. So my sister was working in Tasva and that's how I know Tasva.
That is very very good. Okay, so going ahead, can you tell me some types of marketing, like different types of marketing strategies?
I am not sure about that.
Okay, have you heard of guerrilla marketing?
I have heard, but I have no knowledge about it.
Have you heard of stealth marketing?
No,
No worries. Have you read about 4 Ps of marketing?
I might have, but that was very
Chalo,
long time
chalo,
back ago.
leave everything. According to you, can you define marketing for me? Like, what do you understand from marketing?
So marketing basically is creating something to
Okay,
attract people, matlab
ठीक है.
basically customers,
हाँ हाँ.
and and then maybe convert them to like genuine customers
ठीक है. Fair,
is
fair enough, fair
my
enough.
understanding.
Right, right, right. It is more or less correct. A bit here and
Yeah,
there, but yes, fair enough. Understood. See, there was a very good point that you pointed out that hard working is your weakness. So
yeah.
So see, like Saurabh was also discussing about that, and I was also really excited to like discuss this pointer. Can you tell me a situation in your life where where you were working hard and it turned out to be your weakness? Any situation in your life till now?
So yeah, like while I was running my own cloud kitchen,
Hmm.
I was living in Raipur back then, and my cloud kitchen was in Bhilai, and
Okay.
Bhilai is like fairly like it takes 50 minutes every day to travel from Raipur to Bhilai. So I used to do that
Hmm.
every day, and then
Hmm.
sometimes I even used to like wake up at 6 o'clock and then go run around about it. But
Hmm.
then there were times I used to feel so exhausted because I had to my starting was 6 a.m. Then my like night used to end at 10 o'clock or something like that. And
Right.
that is something I felt was like I was misguided that I shouldn't have put so much of hard work into it, maybe, but I should have done a smart work into it better.
Chalo good. Yeah, this is a very good topic to discuss that. Tell me something like according to you, see, this is one of the experiences, and obviously we train ourselves from our experiences, right? So
Yeah,
right now,
exactly.
what do you believe that is hardworking person, like according to you, in a longer run, a hardworking person would be more successful or a smart working person will be more successful?
I don't think I can define that, but
Okay,
there should be a balance between both of these things. One
right.
should be a hard work, like maybe 50% of the, I should put 50% of my hard work into something, but then
ठीक है.
I should work smartly. I should be able to define what should be done, like, and what should not be done. I should be able to choose between things, which if I make a list of 10 things, I should be able to decide which of these are actually like which should be prioritized. And that is how smart workers work, I guess.
Fair enough. ठीक है. So a few questions upon current affairs, right? So, see, you might be aware of the fact that a lot of Indigo flights are getting cancelled, and there is really a havoc around, especially in India. So, can you tell me that what is the problem that is exactly going on? Like, what is the root cause of this particular situation that has been created?
So basically, I think the Indian government had asked all the aviation companies to
Hmm.
hire more people so that they could cut down the working hours of their employees, just
Okay.
like we have in the corporate sector.
Right. Right.
The various corporate sectors we have, like, there's 48 hours working only for us, I guess. And that's how they wanted to cut off the like working hours of the various employees for the aviation industry as well, is what my
Right.
understanding was. And then what Indigo did, I think it was Indigo's fault, is my
But what was
opinion.
the exact fault? Like, matlab, ठीक है, understood that Indian government suggested that the working hours
Yeah.
should be reduced either
Other,
the
yeah,
employment should be like employer
employment
should yeah.
should
So
be
what
increased.
was the fault from Indigo's side? That is
So
my question.
basically, what Indigo did was they increased the number of flights from their end, the domestic
Okay.
and the international flights, but
Okay.
then they never paid heed to employing more people.
Acha. Hmm.
Yeah, and
Fair.
this was asked by the government a year back, I guess, and this
Okay.
was to be implemented right now, and that's how the whole chaos got created.
ठीक है. Fair enough. चलो. Can you tell me what is the current repo rate?
No,
What is, matlab, now by definition, what is repo rate?
no,
Okay. What is current per capita of India?
I am not like prepared on the whole.
No worries, no worries. चलो, tell me, चलो, see, this is something that current affair is something कि भाई कितना ही पढ़ूं, मतलब कितना ही पढ़ सकता है एक इंसान, right? There is no end to it. So tell me any news that you have read upon, and we can discuss upon that. Any news
Uh,
or any article that you read upon and you find it really interesting. So,
So, since I
tell me.
belong to Chhattisgarh, I'm sure like the whole, I mean, the whole thing about killing these people and their surrender
Which
is
people?
like, um, the Naxalites is very
Okay.
famous right now. It's like the whole thing going on in Delhi and India. It's the whole huge discussion point of like that is what something I could discuss on.
All right. Chalo, cool. So now I'll give you a situation that now you are the prime minister of our country, and this is
Okay.
the exact problem you are facing. You take it like, I
Yeah.
know Naxalism and terrorism is a bit different, but eventually the situation that they create is like leading to
Fairly
there is
similar.
problems in situation, problem in certain states or country, the end result is basically same. So give me one measure that you would want to take now as a prime minister that
Uh,
can like mellow down these things, like anything it could be.
your voice is breaking actually. I couldn't hear half of the question, sorry.
Okay. Hello, am I audible? Now am
Yeah,
I
like you
audible?
were audible before this, but then when you started asking the question, like
Chalo, no worries.
it
I'll
really
repeat my question. I
broke.
was just saying that, imagining yourself as the prime
Ha,
minister of
sure.
the country, if you have to suggest something to
Okay.
curb down this terrorism and Naxalite, so what would you do?
So basically, there's this issue like in the whole state that
Hmm.
the rural population and the urban population is divided fairly, and
Hmm.
the urban population knows what is going on in the world, But the rural
Hmm.
part of the whole state is cut off from the like whatever is going on in the whole even in the whole country actually. So they
Hmm.
don't know what is going on around and they don't have the means to know.
Hmm.
And but then what is being done was they were asked to join the Naxalites and they would join because they would get money out of it. They would get resources out of it. But then
Hmm.
later on, what government did was the same, like they played the same tactic what the
Hmm.
Naxalites were playing with them. They provided for the people, and then they asked them like they asked the people to join the government and to bring down the Naxalites, and that's how it worked, I guess. And I think the major problem was people not having idea, people not having knowledge. So that is
Hmm.
where I would like to work more upon,
Hmm.
which my state is actually currently working on. Exactly.
Right.
They are trying to provide electricity there. They're trying to provide various resources, and they're trying to
Hmm.
provide even like homes to the people who have surrendered.
Hmm.
So that is one thing which I feel is a fair thing for
Hmm.
them because obviously they didn't have anything to rely on. But now that the government is providing for them, there are a lot of different policies for just for them, just
Hmm.
for like saving them because they are
Hmm.
tribal people. They had no knowledge about anything.
Hmm.
And
All right.
that is where I would like to work more upon.
Hmm. Chalo, good, yaar. So, Avantika, will end your interview. You tell us that you would want to end your interview by giving a extempore or by attempting a guesstimate. आप select करो आप कैसे end करना चाहते हो उस interview को.
Maybe an extempore.
चलो cool, ठीक है. So I'll give you a topic, and as soon as topic is given to you, 10 seconds, and then you'll start discussing for that topic for about 1
Okay.
minute. चलो ठीक है. So your topic is a pineapple cake or a chocolate cake.
Okay. So I would start by discussing how a pineapple cake is made and how a chocolate cake is prepared. So pineapple cake basically has a vanilla sponge and a chocolate cake has a chocolate sponge in it. With the pineapple cake having a vanilla cream, but along with it, it has like pineapple bits or maybe crush or the flavorings of it. But then a chocolate cake is made with chocolates, cream, and whatever else you would like to add upon it. Maybe a few chocolate bits and maybe chocolate chips, whatever you would like. And my personal favorite is a chocolate cake, which is like very common, I guess. Everybody in India likes chocolate the most. But then I love fruit cakes as well. So pineapple is fairly a good flavor, is what I feel.
चलो cool, ठीक है यार. Thank you for this particular interview. So before Saurav starts giving his feedback, we would want to know that if you would have to rate your performance today out of 10, then what would be your rating out of 10, overall rating?
Maybe a 7.
Hmm. ठीक है, cool. Chalo, Saurav, now you can start with the feedback and then I'll pitch in once you're done.
All right. So I'll start with your TMAY. I felt Avantika कि um, वो abruptly end हो गया. You told me about where you from, ठीक है, कहाँ से आपने पढ़ाई की, which school,
Okay.
college, and then it's sudden abruptly stopped. And I felt कि, oh, isn't there something else as well to you and to your life?
Okay.
ठीक है. So you should, if you are telling about your story, so then you have to complete your story. And the ideal way which we ask students is to prepare a TMAY which is for about 90 seconds. And that should encapsulate your career, your journey,
Okay.
and what are your interests. Anything that you would want me to talk about, which I feel wasn't there. Because again, I
Okay.
had to try and think what more should I ask her about. It is you who should invite and give me hooks for the next few questions, right? That is the ideal way of preparing a TMAY. Then you mentioned about your internship. with respect to marketing, again, you didn't clarify ki what exactly in marketing you were doing, but again, I think later on they've dived a little deeper into it.
Yeah.
If I were you, I would try and highlight this experience because you had some exposure to sales and marketing or sales,
Yeah.
right? So there is one connection that you can probably make from here to why MBA. The second one
Yeah.
was your technical experience. Again, you can draw ki why you wanted to make a switch. That did not come out very strongly. And you went and ventured into a bakery business. But again, I felt ki I did not have enough information to understand ki what excited you, what were the challenges, how do you went about navigating it? Because again, this is something which will connect to your why MBA. The experiences you had, the failures you had, the challenges you had, and how you
Okay.
matured as an individual. Now, moving on to why MBA, I think this needs a lot of work. You're
Hmm.
not sure कि what MBA offers, right? आपको नहीं पता था कि MBA क्या ऑफर कर रहा है आपको, and what you would want out of MBA. What are your expectations, and how will you use it as a stepping stone, as a catalyst to step into your next role, right? And grow into that role. So that part was really missing, I felt, because I think you have not given much thought to that. वो connection clearly मतलब I felt कि अभी बनाना बचा हुआ है.
बाकी है.
हाँ, वो बचा हुआ है. आपके interests and hobbies निकल के नहीं आया. मतलब आई थिंक बेकरी तो एक था जो है, बट दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ बिकेम योर एंडेवर एज वेल इन लाइफ. उसके अलावा हाउ आर यू एज अ पर्सन एंड व्हाट आर अदर थिंग्स डू यू इंडल्ज इन, वो निकल के पूरे कॉन्वर्सेशन में नहीं आया. आई वुड वांट यू टू हैव दैट एज अ पार्ट ऑफ योर TMAY और एनीवेयर. ठीक है, जस्ट ट्राई एंड
Okay.
मेंशन इट. दिस टेल्स मी कि हाँ, एज अ पर्सन मे बी यू हैव डन these things, but what is that thing or few things that you do to blow off some steam, right? Again, self reflection में भी आपको काम करने की जरूरत है, I feel, because you were not clear कि what are your strengths, and I could see from your face कि when I asked you that question you're trying to think. So if I can see it from your face, the professors who will be taking your interviews, they can see through your soul to say the least. ठीक है, they'll from your face they can read a lot of things. Okay,
Yeah.
so you need to understand ki what are your strengths, what you can really rely on.
Yeah.
Strength and weaknesses cannot be same, right? It's like saying ki two sides of a coin are the same. They can't be. That is not humanly or physically possible.
Okay.
The probability of that is not tends to zero, it's zero, right? So wo self reflection is something that you again you need a little help. Leadership में I think that answer was fairly good. ठीक है. Again, I did not agree with the innovative part, but again, you dropped it later on. So, and this is subjective as well. So, but I feel कि you answered it kind of sufficiently. But again, इसमें भी वही catch था कि you said कि you're not able to do things. So I pinned you down कि that you are not reliable, and then I connected it to your leadership traits that you highlighted. So that put you
Okay.
in a bad light.
Difficult situation.
Yes, and you were not able to navigate out of it. I mean, you were trying, but you were really not able to
Able to.
escape. Nah, you were kind of trapped. Uh, I think last part जो जब आप डिस्कस कर रहे थे ना about Naxalites, तो आई थिंक थोड़ा सा वो टॉपिक सेंसिटिव है, एंड उसके रिगार्डिंग आपको थोड़ा सा और मेरे ख्याल से आप मुझे ऐसा लगा कि यू मेड सम पासिंग रिमार्क्स विच मे नॉट बी एक्यूरेट. ठीक है कि these people are not really aware of what's happening. They are really aware. If you know the ideology of Naxalites, it's
No, no, I
there.
was not talking about the Naxalites. I was rather talking about the villagers, like who live around these people.
Huh. And those who join also, they are aware ki what is happening. Because see,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
the concept that they are bringing in, the other word for them is Maoists. And you know
I know
what
that
that concept is, right? It did not came from India. It came from mainland China.
from, yeah.
Mao, right? And communism and the whole philosophy of communism.
Yeah.
So
And it
the
was fairly drawn from Marxism as well.
yes, yes, obviously Marx was, I think, the the
Russian
protagonist who
reader.
sort of created a lot of word around it. सो
Yeah,
वहां से वो हिस्ट्री, आई थिंक वो हिस्ट्री आपके कॉन्वर्सेशन में थोड़ा सा मिस हो गई, विच यू
miss
कुड
हो
हैव
गई.
हाईलाइटेड कि दिस इज द
Mm-hmm.
आइडियोलॉजी दे कम विद एंड वी बिलीव इन समथिंग डिफरेंट. इंडिया इज नॉट अ कम्युनिस्ट कंट्री, राइट? अनलाइक
Communist country.
लेट्स
Yeah,
से
it's
रशिया
not.
और चाइना, राइट? वी हैव अ डिफरेंट सिस्टम ऑफ गवर्नेंस एंड डिफरेंट बिलीफ सिस्टम which is rooted into different things, our cultural
Hmm.
heritage and among other things. आई थिंक मेरे हिसाब से इतना ही है. इंडिगो का आपने बोला, प्लीज लेटेस्ट न्यूज पढ़ के जाइएगा कि इंडिगो या फिर उस समय जो भी चल रहा होगा, एंड दिस इज अ वेरी बिग न्यूज,
Mm-hmm.
ठीक है, कि पायलट के रेस्ट आवर्स वे इंक्रीज फ्रॉम 36 to 48 or whatever. The night landings per week were reduced from 6 to 2. So there are two, three changes that they made. The criteria of what a night
You
landing
guys
is.
didn't give me a lot of time to read around.
So I do not need you. I mean, I do not need to give you time. Now, this is something that has to happen. See, मैंने अभी नहीं पढ़ा, आपको इंटरव्यू लेने से पहले मैंने भी नहीं पढ़ा. But it's just things that float around and you just know. Because you are
Yeah.
aware. थोड़ा सा listening थोड़ा सा बढ़ाना पड़ेगा. So that you are aware कि what is happening. Especially जो GDPI, it's a long
Happening.
process, right? टू
Yeah.
3 वीक्स के बाद आपके इंटरव्यूज होंगे, तो उस समय तक अगर आप थोड़ा सा यू आर अवेयर ऑफ व्हाट्स हैपनिंग अराउंड यू, तो यू विल बी फेयरली प्रिपेयर्ड. ट्रस्ट मी, 3 महीने से पुराने कोई भी करंट अफेयर्स नहीं पूछता है.
नहीं
ठीक है,
पूछता है.
जो लेटेस्ट चल रहा होगा वो पूछेंगे आपसे कि हैव यू रेड न्यूज़पेपर्स. दैट्स वन ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस. एंड
Okay.
उसमें क्या आपने पढ़ा. सो अगर अभी से आप you start listening to what's happening around you, I think you'll be fairly prepared. But again, that has to happen. Again, I'll let Dev sir give feedback on the technical aspects. Dev sir, please.
Yes, thank you, Saurabh. You more or less covered each and everything. So yes, I was also like of the same standpoint that when it comes to your HR answers, like tell me something about yourself and why
Yes,
MBA.
sir.
In 70 to 80% of the interviews, this is usually the first question. Tell me something about yourself, right? Because each panelist would want to listen out from you that चलो आप बताओ आप क्या बात करना चाहते हो. What is something that you
Mm-hmm.
would want to put on the table, and then we can go ahead with that, right? So like if this is a given opportunity to you, then you should utilize it well, है ना? And this is something where frameworks come into help a lot, right? क्योंकि
Mm-hmm.
आप एक ना चीज समझो कि मैं आपको एक फ्रेमवर्क बना के दे देता हूँ, आपको उस बस फ्रेमवर्क को फिल करना है और एक बार स्ट्रक्चर करना है ना? तो फ्रेमवर्क्स, व्हेन वी क्रिएट फ्रेमवर्क्स ना, या व्हेन एनी फ्रेमवर्क इज क्रिएटेड फॉर दैट मैटर, चाहे 4P ले लो जिसकी हमने बात भी करी, इट इज
Mm-hmm.
कमिंग फ्रॉम अ बीसी स्टैंड पॉइंट. लाइक नाउ व्हाट इज बीसी? इट इज म्यूचुअली एग्जॉस्टिव, सॉरी, हाँ, सो इट इज बेसिकली म्यूचुअली एग्जॉस्टिव एंड कलेक्टिवली वाला सीन रहता है कि मतलब कि आपको एक तो ये है कि सब कुछ म्यूचुअली जो है वो अलग रहेगा, ऐसा कुछ ओवरलैप नहीं आएगा, और कलेक्टिवली सब कुछ एग्जॉस्टिव होगा. समझ रहे हो? तो अब मैं अगर एक बहुत ही बेसिक फ्रेमवर्क है, आपने शायद 10 बार सुना होगा अपनी लाइफ में या बहुत ज्यादा बार, स्टाफ फ्रेमवर्क,
Mm-hmm.
है ना? तो अब आप मेरे को कोई भी, मैं आपसे एक एक्सरसाइज करते हैं, मतलब अब खाली फीडबैक लेके कोई फायदा नहीं है, यू हैव टू इम्प्रूव ऑन दैट, राइट? तो
Yeah.
आपका कोई भी एक इंटर्नशिप आप एक्सपीरियंस उठाओ, ठीक है, और मैं जो जो आपसे बोलूंगा ना, आप एक सिचुएशन बताओ, जो भी सिचुएशन के बारे में यू हैव टू डिस्कस इन 1 लाइन, right? Then you take a action that you did. Like, okay, so first before that we will come for task, like situation, task, action and result. तो आपने जो भी वहां टास्क परफॉर्म करा, सिचुएशन क्या हो सकती है? सिचुएशन ऐसा हो सकता है कि सो लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल देयर वाज अ कस्टमर who came to us because of like bad service providing or whatever it may be. Then what is the task जो आपने task करा? Then what was the actions that you took to perform that task? What were the results? अब आपने जब इस तरीके से स्ट्रक्चर करा है ना, यू हैव मेड श्योर कि आपने सारी चीजें कवर कर ली, राइट? तो
Mm-hmm.
ये तो एक बेसिक फ्रेमवर्क हो गया. देन देयर आर मल्टीपल फ्रेमवर्क्स जो होते हैं, हम लोगों ने भी कई फ्रेमवर्क सजेस्ट करे, क्योंकि ये एक प्रॉब्लम ना हमने देखी थी कि व्हेन यू सिट फॉर इंटरव्यू ना, देयर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी यू टेंड टू मिस अपॉन सर्टेन इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स. फिर
Important point.
पैनलिस्ट को वो मतलब डीप डाइव करना पड़ता है कि यार अच्छा बताओ ये क्या था, वो क्या था. एंड टू बी ऑनेस्ट, हम आज एक इंटरव्यू बस ले रहे हैं, तो हम शांति से बैठ के सुन सकते हैं, समझ सकते हैं. बट जब एक पैनलिस्ट को दिन में 100 इंटरव्यूज लेने हैं ना, वो शायद इतना एफर्ट ना डाले. इट विल ऑल्सो
Mm-hmm.
डिपेंड अलॉट कि आपका स्लॉट कौन सा है, आपसे पहले वाला जो बच्चा आया था पैनल में वो कैसा था, अगर वो ऑलरेडी बहुत अच्छा परफॉर्म करके गया फिर तो पैनलिस्ट यही बोलेगा चलो यार इसको नहीं आता तो छोड़ो, वैसे ही पिछला बच्चा बहुत अच्छा करके, है ना। तो इट कम्स अ लॉट फ्रॉम फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंस ऑल्सो। आपके पिछले वाला बहुत ही खराब था, वो तो रूड भी था, लेकिन आप ऐसा ही कि आप ट्राई मार रहे हो तो फिर वो आपको और ज्यादा पुश करेंगे ट्राई करने के लिए, राइट। तो फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरेंसेस बिल्ड होते जाते ओवर द डे व्हेन देयर आर डिफरेंट पैनल्स। तो हम रिस्क लेके नहीं जा सकते, राइट। देन कमिंग टू माई नेक्स्ट पॉइंट कि आप जिस भी चीज के बारे में डिस्कशन कर रहे हो ना, तो स्पेशली इन द इनिशियल पॉइंट, पता है आप अगर अपना वीडियो देखोगे ना ये तो आपको खुद रियलाइज होगा, आपका शुरू का 20 मिनट और एंड के 20 मिनट में ऑटोमेटिकली बहुत चेंज आ गए। देयर वर सर्टेन थिंग्स जो मैंने रेड फ्लैग्स में नोट करी थी बट वो आपने ऑटोमेटिकली इंप्रूव कर ली एंड के 20 मिनट्स में। वन ऑफ दैट वाज कि
Okay.
सौरभ जब आपको कुछ पूछ रहा है बार बार तो यू वर लिटरली स्माइलिंग, राइट। इफ यू डोंट नो एनीथिंग एंड यू आर स्माइलिंग दैट इज वेरी डिसरिस्पेक्टफुल। बट जब मैं
Okay.
आपसे बात कर रहा था एंड आई सॉ दैट ट्रांजिशन, यू वर नॉट स्माइलिंग व्हाइल वी वर डिस्कसिंग समथिंग, यू वर नॉट श्योर अबाउट एनीथिंग बट यू वर नॉट स्माइलिंग। तो आप खुद देखो एक इंटरव्यू में अगर आप इतना ट्रांजिशन कर सकते हो तो इट इज अ प्रोसेस ऑब्वियसली, ये आपका पहला इंटरव्यू है एंड इट इज गुड दैट यू नो अबाउट योर वीकनेसेस अभी से, यू कैन प्रिपेयर देन यू कैन लाइक ट्राई इन अनदर इंटरव्यू कि क्या क्या चेंजेस आए हैं, है ना। एक वो चीज थी। दूसरा क्या था कि पहले जब आप सौरभ को जवाब दे रहे थे ना, फॉर एग्जांपल सौरभ सेड एनीथिंग देन यू सेड नो आई डोंट थिंक सो, या लाइक मेरे हिसाब से तो ऐसा है। तो इट इज नॉट अ कैंडिड कॉन्वर्जेशन दैट इज गोइंग ऑन, राइट। एवरीथिंग हैज टू बी बैक्ड बाय एग्जांपल एंड वी विल नॉट
Okay.
पुश। अच्छा चलो, जैसे मैंने तो आपसे बोला चलो अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है तो आप मेरे को कोई एग्जांपल बताओ या कोई सिचुएशन बताओ, पैनलिस्ट नहीं आपको पुश करेगा। ये आपका, दिस इज योर इंटरव्यू। इफ यू आर सेइंग समथिंग यू हैव टू बैक इट अप बाय
Back
एग्जांपल,
it up.
right? If you feel ki this is something that has happened to you, or if you feel ki you are a hardworking person, or whatever it can be, you have to back it up by example. सही है। पैनलिस्ट उसको ग्रिल करेगा ना तो वो बिट्स एंड पीसेस में आएगा। आप एक बार में बता दोगे तो बहुत ही स्मूथ तरीके से यू हैव
Smooth.
डिलीवर्ड। Understood. Now coming to technicality. See, when you say that I am interested in sales and marketing, है ना, तो आपको बेयर मिनिमम पता होना चाहिए। सी, ऐसा नहीं है कि अब मैं 2 साल एमबीए करके आया हूँ इसलिए मेरे को ये सब पता है। व्हेन आई वाज सिटिंग फॉर माय इंटरव्यूज कमिंग फ्रॉम अ टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड आल्सो, आई फेयरली रीड अपॉन डिफरेंट मार्केटिंग कॉन्सेप्ट्स, आई फेयरली रीड अपॉन मार्केटिंग कैंपेन्स। आपको मैं कुछ वेबसाइट्स बताता हूँ, जैसे इफ यू वांट टू नोट यू कैन नोट, जैसे मैड ओवर मार्केटिंग हो गया है, AFAQS हो गया है। सो these websites are very good to read about marketing campaigns, right? And ऐसा
Okay.
नहीं है कि मैं एमबीए स्कूल में गया उसके बाद मैंने ये पढ़ना शुरू करा। मैं जब प्रेपरेशन फेज में आया था, आई आई वॉज रीडिंग अपॉन दीज वेबसाइट्स, आई वॉज रीडिंग अपॉन डिफरेंट आर्टिकल्स, राइट। तो ऐसे चीजें बिल्ट ऑन होती हैं, है ना। और जब भी आपको कुछ आता नहीं है यू डोंट हैव टू डिफेंड योर सेल्फ कि भाई मैं तो इंटरेस्टेड ही नहीं हूँ, मैं कौन सा फैशन बैकग्राउंड से आई हूँ, मेरे को कैसे पता, तुम मेरे से कैसे पूछ सकते हो। ये ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए। आपको ये होना चाहिए कि ठीक है सर मेरे को नहीं पता है बट आई विल डेफिनेटली रीड अपॉन दीज थिंग्स, आई अंडरस्टैंड दैट yes, this is also something very important but and I don't know them today but I will definitely read upon,
Read
है ना।
upon
आपको
it.
पता है you are a student यार। एक प्रोफेसर के आप पर्सपेक्टिव से सोच के देखो, इफ अ स्टूडेंट इज सेइंग कि हाँ सर मेरे को नहीं पता है, द स्टूडेंट इज एक्नॉलेजिंग द फैक्ट एंड द पर्सन इज मेंशनिंग हाँ सर मैं सीख लूंगा। एक प्रोफेसर के लिए उससे ज्यादा खुशी की बात कुछ है ही नहीं। उसको नहीं
Okay.
चाहिए कि आप अच्छी प्लेसमेंट लेते हो क्या लेते हो, एक प्रोफेसर के लिए बस इतना है आप अच्छे स्टूडेंट हो या नहीं हो, क्या वो आपको सिखा सकता है नहीं सिखा सकता, राइट। मेजोरिटी ऑफ द पैनलिस्ट जो होते हैं वो प्रोफेसर ही होते हैं, एलम्स भी होते हैं, आई डू एग्री एलम्स भी होते हैं, सब होते हैं, गेस्ट लेक्चरर्स होते हैं, नहीं तो प्रोफेसर होते हैं जो फुल टाइम फैकल्टीज होते हैं, है ना। तो आपको ये दिखाना है यू आर रेडी टू लाइक लर्न मोर, राइट।
Absorb everything.
एग्जैक्टली। एंड बेयर मिनिमम तो आपको तब भी पता होना चाहिए। अब आप जाके आप फर्स्ट क्लास में आ गए हो मतलब हाइपोथेटिकली और आप बोलो सर नहीं मेरे को एबीसीडी भी नहीं आता, एबीसीडी भी आप ही सिखा दो, तो ये भी फिर वो एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे। आपको फर्स्ट क्लास से पहले का सिलेबस तो पता होना चाहिए, उसके ऊपर वो बिल्ड जरूर कर देंगे, राइट। ठीक है,
That I agree
इससे,
on.
हाँ राइट। तो इससे अलग जो चीज था करंट अफेयर्स दैट सौरभ वाज टॉकिंग
हाँ.
अबाउट, सो आई आल्सो एग्री कि पिछले 3-4 महीने से ज्यादा का करंट अफेयर कोई पूछता नहीं है। जस्ट अ कैवियट ओवर हियर कि कोई भी मेजर डिसीजन मेकिंग हो गई, जैसे अब ट्रम्प का टैरिफ वाला चीज है, अगर
हाँ.
उसमें कुछ बड़ा डिसीजन मेकिंग हो गया फिर आपको उसका हिस्ट्री फ्यूचर पास्ट सब पता होना चाहिए,
सब पढ़ना पड़ेगा.
पढ़ना पड़ेगा, राइट। तो दो तरीके से डिवाइडेड होता है, एक तो डेली करंट अफेयर्स जो चल रहे हैं वो आपको पता होने
हम्म.
चाहिए, दूसरा ये चीज, अगर कोई भी मेजर डिसीजन मेकिंग हो रही है तो वो आपको पता होना चाहिए। बेसिक लेवल पे इकोनॉमिक्स आपको आना चाहिए, बिकॉज इफ यू हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड बिजनेस देन यू शुड नो बेसिक लेवल इकोनॉमिक्स। मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ बहुत इन
Economics.
डेप्थ चले जाओ इकोनॉमिस्ट ही बन के निकल आओ 3 महीने में, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल। बट
Not
लाइक
possible.
अगेन, कमिंग फ्रॉम अ टेक बैकग्राउंड, यू शुड नो बेयर मिनिमम कि भाई रेपो रेट क्या होता है, रिवर्स रेपो रेट क्या होता है, ये सब चीजें बेयर मिनिमम जो है, राइट। ये सब पता होना चाहिए आपको, आरबीआई गवर्नर कौन है, ये सब चीजें आपको पता होनी चाहिए, राइट।
मुझे एक्चुअली पता है कि मुझे ये सब पता होना चाहिए, लेकिन मेरे पास इतना
हाँ,
टाइम ही नहीं था कि मैं ये सारी चीजें प्रिपेयर कर सकूं।
ठीक, आप पता है एक चीज ये होती है, और ये पता है, मैंने देखा है कि दिस इज वेरी कॉमन, कि हमको जब तक पता होती है, हमको बहुत चीजें पता होती हैं, हमको पता होता है हमको ये करना है वो करना है, लेकिन हम बस थोड़ा ऐसा लैकडाइसिकल वे में कि छोड़ देते हैं, यार ठीक है देख लेंगे भाई कर लेंगे। बट जब बाहर से एक्सटर्नल पुश मिलता है ना, या थोड़ा
कुछ
रियलिटी
मिलता
चेक
है।
मिलता है, तो अब आप कुछ भी नहीं करोगे ना, मैं नहीं बोल रहा, मैंने जो सारी चीजें बोली आप कर ही लोगे, लेकिन एटलीस्ट
हम्म।
जो पॉइंटर आज डिस्कस हुए हैं उसमें तो आप जरूर पढ़ोगे कि अरे यार वो गोरिल्ला मार्केटिंग भाई पहली बार सुना है भाई, वो पढ़ तो लूं, मतलब आउट ऑफ ना क्यूरियोसिटी आप ये चीजें तो पढ़ लोगे।
क्यूरियोसिटी।
तो आपने 10 मॉक पीआईज भी दे लिए, तो उसमें 10 चीजें तो आप नई सीख ही लोगे एटलीस्ट। मैं बोल रहा हूँ कुछ भी नहीं पढ़
हम्म।
रहे, पर 10 मॉक पीआई से 10 नई चीजें। जैसे मेरा पहला जो मॉक पीआई था ना, उसमें क्या था, मेरा ज्योग्राफी बहुत ज्यादा खराब है, और वो मेरे को ज्योग्राफी को लेके ग्रिल करना शुरू हो गए कि चलो भाई सेवन सिस्टर्स बताओ, ये बताओ वो बताओ, इसका कैपिटल उसका कैपिटल, मतलब उनको पता चल गया इसका ज्योग्राफी वीक है। तो 2 मिनट बैठ के उन्होंने मेरे को ग्रिल करा अच्छे से। बट आफ्टर दैट पॉइंट आई रियलाइज कि यार ये तो मेरे को बिल्कुल ही नहीं आता, ये तो बहुत अलग लेवल पे रियलिटी चेक मिल गया, है ना। तो उसके बाद जितना मैं कवर कर सकता था कि अच्छा सेवन सिस्टर पूछा है, ये तो मैं सबसे पहले पढ़ लेता हूँ, है ना, वो होता है कि यार ये मेरे को नहीं आता, ये तो मैं पहले पढ़ ही लेता, वो चीज होना चाहिए, ठीक है। ऑल्सो वेन यू आर टॉकिंग अबाउट एनी करंट अफेयर दैट यू आर नॉट श्योर अबाउट, जैसे डीजीसीए वाला जो था ना, व्हाट यू वर डिस्कसिंग वाज सर्टेन इफेक्ट्स ओनली, कि जैसे सौरभ मेंशन की वर्किंग आवर्स में चेंज आया था, एंड इंडिगो डज नॉट हैव दैट सॉर्ट ऑफ मैन पावर, उसकी
हम्म।
वजह से जो हुआ वो आप डिस्कस कर रहे थे, राइट। तो इट वाज नॉट द गाइडलाइंस दैट यू डिस्कस्ड। सेकेंडली, डोंट मेंशन इंडियन गवर्नमेंट, भाई डीजीसीए नाम की बॉडी है जिसने ये सब करा है, ठीक है। तो आप
हम्म।
एग्जैक्ट बॉडी का नाम मेंशन करो। इंडियन गवर्नमेंट तो बहुत बड़ा अम्ब्रेला है, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट तो बहुत कुछ टेक केयर कर रहा है, बट यहाँ पे कौन सी
हम्म।
बॉडी इन्वॉल्व थी, आपको वो पता
इन्वॉल्व।
होना चाहिए, राइट। अब जैसे हमारे टाइम में ना देर वॉज दिस थिंग, ये लिकर रेगुलेशंस पे कुछ हुआ था दिल्ली में स्पेसिफिकली, राइट, एंड आई एम फ्रॉम
ओके।
एनसीआर दिल्ली। तो मैं मेरे को फिर पता चल गया था कि अब मेरे को इसका हिस्ट्री से लेके ज्योग्राफी सब पढ़ना पड़ेगा, कि
हम्म।
एग्जैक्ट रेगुलेशंस क्या है, अब क्या चेंजेस आए हैं, इससे क्या फ्यूचर इफेक्ट्स हो सकता है, राइट। तो इस तरीके से आपको थोड़ा प्रिपेयर करना पड़ेगा स्ट्रैटेजिकली, क्योंकि एज आई मेंशन आपसे कोई पूछेगा नहीं कि मेरे को ये न्यूज बता दो, न्यूज उन्हें पता होती है, वो जानना चाहते हैं आपका क्या थॉट
आपको
प्रोसेस।
क्या? ओपिनियंस बेसिकली।
Opinions is what they seek, and neutral opinions is something that they like.
ओके।
अगर अगर आप बहुत एक्सट्रीमिस्ट ओपिनियन दोगे तो भी दैट इज नॉट दे
दैट
वांट,
इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल।
दैट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल, राइट भाई, मतलब इट इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल दो तरीके से, क्योंकि एक तो आपको न्यूट्रल स्टैंड पॉइंट से बात करना है, बिकॉज यू माइट हैव टू एनालाइज सर्टेन थिंग्स इन फ्यूचर। ऑब्वियसली आप कंपनी में भी जाओगे, यू हैव टू एनालाइज सिचुएशन, सो दे वांट टू सी कि कैन यू बी अ पर्सन हु कैन वर्क इन अनबायस्ड मैनर इन अ न्यूट्रल सेटिंग। सेकेंडली हो सकता है कि जो आप बोल रहे हो वो उसके दूसरी, मतलब अपोजिशन साइड को सपोर्ट कर,
अपोजिशन साइड में हो।
उस तरीके से भी हो जाते हैं। एंड मैं कितना भी बोल लूं कि प्रोफेसर हो चाहे कोई भी हो, बट कुछ सेंसिटिव टॉपिक्स होते हैं जिसको लेके हर कोई छिड़ सकता है,
हाँ।
राइट। तो हमको न्यूट्रलिटी हर जगह फॉलो करनी है। एंड माय लास्ट पॉइंट इज दैट आपने गेस्टिमेट्स पे, मेरे को पता था गेस्टिमेट इज समथिंग जो प्रिपेयर करने में टाइम लेती है, आप मेरे को लगा था कि आपने शायद ना प्रिपेयर करा हो, बट अब गेस्टिमेट्स भी अच्छे से प्रिपेयर कर लेना, राइट।
हम्म।
और तुम, आई गेस आई हैव कवर्ड। हाँ, वन मोर थिंग, जब आपने बिजनेस प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करी ना, आपने जो चीजें बोली कि अच्छा प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी इशू है तो हम इस तरीके से सॉल्व करेंगे, दैट वाज फेयरली करेक्ट, जो पॉइंट्स बोले दैट वर फेयरली करेक्ट।
हम्म।
बट सी अगेन देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन अ पर्सन हु इज थ्रोइंग अप रैंडम पॉइंट्स एंड अ पर्सन हु इज गोइंग इनटू अ बिजनेस स्कूल जहां पे आप बिजनेस
लाइक द
प्रॉब्लम्स
होल
को सॉल्व
डिटेल
करने
ऑफ इट।
वाले हो, राइट। सो देन स्ट्रक्चर मैटर्स अ लॉट। देखो मतलब
हम्म।
एवरीवन would agree upon the point कि एक structured और unstructured argument अपने आप में बहुत difference create कर सकता है। So
हम्म।
if I would have been in your place, मतलब ऑब्वियसली आप बोलोगे भाई एमबीए करके तो मैं भी बता दूंगी 2 साल बाद, ठीक है, बट आपको पहले से पता है तो आप उस चीज का फायदा उठा लो, है ना। कि अगर
हम्म।
ऐसा कोई प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट आपको कभी मिलता है, आप उसको हमेशा स्ट्रक्चर देने का ट्राई करो कि अच्छा सर, और ये कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है, आपने ये प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस पढ़ा है अपने कैट के सिलेबस में भी, तो
या।
आपको भी पता है कि प्रॉफिट का जो फॉर्मूला होता है वो एसपी माइनस सीपी ही होता है।
हम्म।
आप पहले ये बोलोगे कि सर प्रॉफिट बेसिकली किससे होता है, या तो सेलिंग प्राइस से होता है या कॉस्ट प्राइस से होता है। अब अगर मेरी प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी खत्म हो रही है या कम हो रही है, तो या तो मेरा सेलिंग
हम्म।
प्राइस ड्रॉप कर रहा है किसी तरीके से, या मेरा कॉस्ट प्राइस सर्च कर रहा है। इतना बेयर मिनिमम तो आप बोल सकते थे ना। देखो इसमें मैंने अभी तक
हम्म।
कुछ एमबीए का नहीं बताया आपको, राइट। तो यही है, थोड़ा स्ट्रक्चर थिंकिंग में सोचना शुरू करो। और जैसे थिंक स्कूल जैसे चैनल्स हैं, है ना, ये बहुत अच्छे यूट्यूब चैनल्स हैं, आप इनको फॉलो करो। ये हर चीज को बिजनेस केस की तरह ही एक्सप्लेन करके दिखाते हैं, है ना। एक एक जीरोधा का भी कोई चैनल है, केस स्टडी बाय जीरोधा या ऐसा कुछ, वो भी बहुत अच्छा यूट्यूब चैनल है, राइट। तो ये सब चीजें हैं, दिस इज समथिंग दैट यू शुड वर्क ऑन। कोई नहीं,
सॉरी।
कोई नहीं। हाँ हाँ, चले चले, कोई बात नहीं। बट मेक श्योर, जब आप, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी लर्निंग है कि जब आप रियल बी स्कूल के इंटरव्यू के लिए बैठो, अब तो मोस्टली ऑफलाइन ही होंगे, हमारे टाइम में कोविड में सारे ही ऑनलाइन थे, तो
हम्म।
यू मेक श्योर आप सबको बता दो, रूम के बाहर लगा दो कि भाई आई एम इन इंटरव्यू, इस टाइम से इस टाइम तक, प्लीज डोंट नॉक, प्लीज डोंट डिस्टर्ब, है ना।
When I sat here, nobody was home, so I couldn't do
हाँ
anything about it.
हाँ हाँ हाँ, नो वरीज है, नो वरीज। चलो ठीक है, ऑल द बेस्ट, ऑल द बेस्ट।
Thank
ठीक है।
एक
you.
चीज मैं देव बोलना चाहूंगा कि
हाँ
यार
प्लीज।
अवंतिका, आई गिव यू क्रेडिट्स फॉर दिस कि आपने एक्चुअली इनिशिएटिव लिया और मॉक पीआई दे दिया, और इतने जल्दी
एग्जैक्टली।
दे दिया। मतलब आ, ये
I
दिस
don't know
इज,
why you guys chose me. मेरे को एकदम प्रिपेयर करने का टाइम ही नहीं दिया आप लोगों ने।
देखो मेरे हिसाब से अच्छा प्रिपरेशन तभी होता है जब एक बार हमें समझ में आ आता है कि पानी
एक बार
कितना
पूरी
है।
तरह ग्रिल हो जाने के बाद।
हाँ, तो
हाँ
हमको भी
एग्जैक्टली।
पता चल जाता है कि भाई देखो ऐसा है कि मेरे को बहुत नहीं आता है। वो एक आई मैं भूल रहा हूँ, वो एक थ्योरी है जो लर्निंग कर्व के बारे में बताती है। आई थिंक
हम्म।
क्रूगर, सम डनिंग क्रूगर करके थ्योरी है, वो बताती है कि जब आदमी को कम पता होता है तो लगता है सब कुछ आता है। तो हम एक बार ग्रिल कर देते हैं लोगों को तो उनको समझ में आता है कि वेर इज विद
मेरे को कुछ
स्टैंड।
नहीं
उसके
पता
बाद
है।
फिर स्लोली स्लोली प्रोग्रेस उस पर बिल्ड करते हैं। बट
हम्म।
मैंने बहुत लोगों को देखा है, आई किड यू नॉट, लास्ट ईयर पेड स्टूडेंट्स जो प्रेबी में के थे जिनका मैं इंटरव्यूज लेता था, वो पहली बार मॉक देने आ रहे हैं अपने बी स्कूल के इंटरव्यू से कुछ दिन पहले। कम से कम आपने एक इनिशिएटिव लिया, और एक तो मैं
हाँ
मानूंगा कि कॉन्फिडेंस है और रिस्क टेकिंग एपेटाइट भी है आपका कि आप इतने जल्दी आ गए और थोड़ा कम प्रिपरेशन के साथ ही आ गए। तो यू आर फाइटिंग, तो दैट
So
तो आई हैव टू
basically,
गिव यू
I
क्रेडिट।
felt कि there's nothing to lose here actually, is what
एग्जैक्टली।
my
एग्जैक्टली
whole
द
thought process
माइंडसेट कि
was.
आप, दिस इज द बेस्ट माइंडसेट इफ यू वांट टू ग्रो। मतलब यू आर अ गुड एमबीए एस्पिरेंट आइड से, ठीक है। बस ये सामने वाला इंटरव्यूअर को समझ में आना चाहिए।
एक्सप्लेन करना है।
हाँ, यस, एंड हो जाएगा। मतलब एटीट्यूड आपका अच्छा है, टाइम भी काफी ज्यादा सही है आपके पास। धीरे धीरे बिल्ड करेंगे, है ना, स्टार्ट करेंगे हाइजीन से, फिर बिल्ड करेंगे सब्जेक्ट नॉलेज, फिर बिल्ड करेंगे आगे चल के, हो जाएगा, इजीली हो जाएगा, ठीक है।
हाँ, मतलब दिस इज अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट जो सौरभ ने बोला कि जब आप अपनी प्रेपरेशन शुरू करोगे ना, तो आप ज्यादा टाइम, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ यू हैव 100% ऑफ टाइम, देन यू गिव 70% टू हाइजीन क्वेश्चंस ओनली, बिकॉज वो ही बेस होते हैं। आपने उधर काम खराब कर दिया ना, फिर चाहे आप 10 करंट अफेयर सही बता दो, आप सेलेक्ट नहीं होगे, आई कैन बेट ऑन दिस। और
या।
आपने वो अच्छे से हैंडल करे, आपको मैं बोलूंगा 5 में से 3 करंट अफेयर्स नहीं भी आते हैं, तो भी देर इज अ पॉसिबिलिटी दे विल सेलेक्ट यू। क्योंकि करंट अफेयर ना आना चलता है यार, नहीं पता होते सबको, लेकिन आपको अपने बारे में ही नहीं पता, फिर तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं चलता। तो आपको वो टाइम इसी तरीके से डिवाइड करना है। एट द इनिशिएशन पॉइंट ऑफ योर प्रिपरेशन 70 to 75% शुड बी गिवन टू बिल्डिंग अप ऑफ एचआर आंसर्स, प्रिपेयरिंग एचआर आंसर्स, गेटिंग देम रिव्यूड बाय योर मेंटर्स और whoever is guiding you in this journey, है ना। और जब आपको लगे नाउ आई एम कॉन्फिडेंट इनफ ऑन दीज, देन आप उसको कर दो 20% 30%, लाइक जस्ट टू ब्रश अप, जस्ट टू ऐड सर्टेन न्यू थिंग, क्योंकि आप मॉक पीआईज भी दोगे तो आपको कुछ कुछ चेंजेस बताए जाए, तो वो चेंजेस इनकर करने के लिए कीप दैट 20-30% रेस्ट ऑफ द टाइम फॉर अदर थिंग्स, करंट अफेयर, डोमेन वाइज नॉलेज, टेक्निकल नॉलेज ऑफ फ्रॉम योर वर्क एक्सपीरियंस, अंडर ग्रेड, एवरीथिंग, राइट। चलो ठीक है अवंतिका, इट वाज नाइस इंटरैक्टिंग विद यू, ऑल द बेस्ट। एंड बाकी भी किसी को अगर फ्री मॉक पे आई अवेल करना है, लाइव मॉक पे अवेल करना है, तो वी विल ऐड डिटेल्स इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन, यू कैन जस्ट चेक दैट आउट एंड probably you would be the next face in this particular panel. Okay, bye bye.
Thank
बाय
you so
बाय, टेक
much.
केयर एंड विश यू ऑल द बेस्ट।
Yes, all
Thank
the best.
you.